That fella's rearing to go. But good morning everyone and welcome back. Hopefully you enjoyed the last couple of videos from when I was down south. It is pretty cool down there and something a little bit different for you. We actually had a really good week. It was a good chance to get off farm and recharge the batteries. Went to the races, or we finished up at the races on Saturday, and then I came home on the Sunday. So it was just an awesome time down there. I'd potentially move down south if we didn't have the farm up here. It is nice down there. I really like it. But I'm heading in at the moment. I'm about to start milking. The cows are almost in the shed. They're just being a little bit slow this morning. It was a lovely morning when I got up before, and you can see this sort of fog's like rolling in. That's a pretty good indication that it's going to get pretty hot. We're actually into our week 7 of mating, so there's only 3 weeks to go till we're finished, or another actually, it's like 2.5. But I'm going to swap these bulls over now, so he's pretty good. I'll just open that gate for him. He should just come straight out. It's going to be a little bit difficult. Come on! There we go, just like that. He can go to work now, although there's only one cow on in this herd. We are getting to sort of the tail end of it. I think I am only going to do 9 weeks of mating in total, but we should start seeing less and less cows come on now. Well, that's what we hope we want to see, because hopefully most of them are in calf. There's still a bull in the yard here with these cows, so I will put him in the paddock, but I need to milk 4 rows before I do that. I think I'm onto my 3rd one now. It's actually the 6th row. They were coming in pretty easy, so I just kept going. Usually I do this after 4, but here he is, right there. So come on fella, out you go. Out you go, come on. Away you go. These bulls are pretty good this year. Touch wood. That's it, come on girls, up you go. He's a little bit quieter than the other one. Come on then. Up you go girls, come on. They know what's happening and it's part of their routine now. Gates are set and he should just walk straight through there. Come on matey. Come on. Just as easy as that. And this bull here, he's been taken out of the first herd, and then his mate that was in the paddock got put out with them before I got there this morning. So Dad did that. We have 4 bulls, and we put one at a time, each herd, and swap them every day. So they get 24 hours in with the cows, and then they get a little bit of a rest for their feet and gets them a bit of time to build up again. I was trying to find this cow here for you guys, number 70, to show you. I think she's a 3 or a 4-year-old. It's a little bit hard to see her udder now because she's pretty much milked out. She hasn't really been a cow that's caught my eye, although I'll talk about her in just a minute. I was also on the hunt for this girl because she's got mastitis in this back right quarter. Look at that, little bit gunky. The sow count spiked a little bit, so I knew there was a cow with mastitis somewhere, and she was sort of walking slow to the feed pad the other night, so I thought she'd be a good suspect. The collars actually also picked it up as well. A bit of a health alert came through. But that's like the first time our cell count's gone over 150. I think it was 157 last night, or the night before actually, 157, and that's the first time it's been over 150 in about 3 months. And that's also the first time I've had mastitis in about 5 weeks, which is pretty big for us. Usually we always get a couple of cases a month, especially at this time of the year, sort of probably even 5, but going a month without mastitis, that's awesome. So it's a little bit of a shame she's got it, but I'd say she has probably had it before, to be honest. The right corner's always been a little bit light, so I would suspect she's had it. I actually milked her into the test bucket yesterday, so it'll be interesting to see if the sow count drops. So last night's pickup, but I'd probably say there's another couple of cows in here that might have high sow counts. I haven't sort of just picked them up. But interesting, I milked her into it yesterday because I ran a mastitis test on it to see what mastitis it was and what to treat it with. And it came back to give it intracillin. I'd actually had a couple of cows in the last couple of weeks, which I found that looked like mastitis, that you would think, oh, she's definitely got it. Ran it through the test and it came back with nothing found, so I didn't need to treat her. So I saved 2 treatments and milk going into the vat by doing that, which is pretty cool. This girl's a bit of a pocket rocket. She's not very big in size, but she's milking pretty well. And here's number 70 here. They're both 4-year-olds. Not a bad looking cow. It's just one I really haven't had my eye on. Getting back to the bulls though, so we might be a little bit underpowered, like we're only running one between 170 cows at a time. But it's kind of good though too, because we don't really have any issues with lameness, and they do get a rest, so they're not fighting each other while they're out. Seems to work alright for us. Like our repro results aren't too bad generally, although once a day they're usually not bad anyway, but they're pretty good considering, so we're not too worried by it. And hopefully most of these cows got in calf with AI anyway, so he has less work to do. Like I say, we're only getting sort of 1 to 2 cows come on heat a day. Some days there's been none. The other day while I was in Christchurch, actually 8 popped through, so that was a big day. Potentially wasn't good that day, but however, hopefully they did manage to clean them up. You've definitely got to keep your wits about you though. Like, these bulls are pretty good, but I still wouldn't trust them, that's for sure. So people have said in the comments, why don't you do beef bulls? And one of the reasons is that we actually carry these fellas through every season. So what happens is that we'll go and buy 4 Jersey bulls. We put them out with the heifers down at Mervs. We don't want to put beef bulls out with the heifers. We could just get massive calving troubles there. We want easy calving heifers, that is the idea. Then we'll bring them home, so those 4 bulls down at Mervs will come home in about a month, and then we'll keep them through till mating the following season, so they'll go up with the cows. What are you up to, matey? One year Dad got them eating oranges out of his hand up at his place. It's just once they go out with the cows they get a little bit funny. To be honest though, I don't know if I really like this system, because to me it just seems like that we're carrying these fellas through for 10.5 months, feeding them wise, to put them out with the cows for 4 weeks. And the reason sort of Dad's done it like this for a long time is that he just saves money. He doesn't have to go and buy 2-year-old bulls because they can be expensive. We're only buying 4 a year instead of 8. And I guess leasing's an option too. But he says that at least we sort of know what the bulls are like when they go out with the cows. You can get bulls in that are a little bit toey or grumpy or whatever they are. This is just sort of, he's found the easiest way to do it. I don't know if I want to go all AI. I just think that's a lot of stress on our workload. Like, I just shot off the Christchurch. I couldn't do that if we were AIing. And we don't have a drafting gate. If we had a drafting gate, it wouldn't be so bad. You could just auto draft the cows that are on and get like an AI tech to come in. Then you'd have to have the facilities as well. So it's not quite as easy and clear as it sounds, either option. But at the moment this is working, so we'll probably just stick with it. I got this letter in the mail the other day. This is from CRV, and it's for a genotype request of this calf here, 2364, and it's actually out of that cow number 70. So it's her calf from this year. What they want to do is I need to take another sample, like an ear sample, and send it away to CRV. They're going to genotype it, and if it makes the next round, then it might go into top mate, which means that they'll just give me a straw to use for the mating next year, or otherwise they might try and take embryos off it if it gets that far. That's why I find it kind of interesting that that calf out of that cow is one that they want to genotype. So I'll do that. I'll flick them through a sample. I don't know how well it's going to go. Like, obviously it depends how much of the father and the mother's in the calf, like percentage wise. It's like, looking at the figures and stuff, you wouldn't think it's anything amazing. That's why I was actually a little bit surprised that we got this in the mail, but we'll see how we get on. I don't have very high hopes for it, but I don't know. I guess you never know. Sometimes it's just a bit of luck. But first I need to tag them. I've also found a couple of DNA samples, so if I find that calf number 64, we'll do it today. There's 5 that are in here. Everything's weaned now, except we left 5 in here, which are a little bit smaller. They're still getting a couple of litres of milk a day at the moment. I think they got that coccidiosis and it sort of held them back a little bit. They went real skinny. They're coming right now, but we're just going to keep them on milk a little bit, look after them, and then probably wean them once they're looking all right. But I'm going to put all the calves in. This is one of the mobs. The other one's next to the shed here, which is pretty handy actually. It's just in that paddock straight through there, so bring them in. There's 67 calves in total. Take away those 5 that are still on milk, which is 62, and we're going to send 47 down to grazing, which will leave us 20 here at home. So I need to go through them. We'll get them all on one big mob and we'll just go through them and pull out probably 15 of the lighter ones, and they can stay here and we'll look after them. That wasn't too bad. So that's both mobs. Here's the 5 that are in the paddock. They're actually looking all right. That one there is probably the worst, and it was the worst, but she's coming all right. I actually think that number 64 is one of these. I don't think it's that one. I think it's one of the 4 over there. If it is in the paddock, I'll just do it tomorrow while they're drinking probably. I'll just have a little look through and grab a sample. It's got to be in by the, I think it's the 10th of December. So I've sort of got a couple of weeks, but it'd just be nice to do it and get it out of the way. Numbers are all sorted. I've sort of put them in order, so 60s, 50s, 40s, 30s, all the way down to number 1 at the end there. I need to wait for Dad because it's sort of a job that I can't do by myself. He's fixing a trough. He won't be too far away. I just seen he shot back and got a bullcock, so you must be making progress. This contract calf though, like some people or some herds are really good and they might get a lot of them, you know. Some people might get 10 contracts, some people might get 20 or 30. The bull breeders that specifically breed for them probably get heaps or tons of them. I had one, I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago, and it got sent away and embryos came of it, or they flushed it for embryos, which means they got eggs out of it. They got 4 eggs. They put it in some of our cows, and the eggs, what did I get from that? I got 3 bull calves and a heifer calf, and they didn't want the bull calves. Only 2 bull calves lived. They didn't want them, and the heifer calf I had to put down because it was real jointy and arthritic, and it wasn't right, so it was sort of a fail. Luckily I didn't have to pay anything for it, but that is the idea of these contracts, is that they're trying to find sort of, you know, the next sire that they can put out there. They might do hundreds of them, and at this stage they might do even more, and they whittle them down over time. So I don't know, we'll see how we go. Probably, yeah, as I said, don't have high expectations. All done. They're looking very smart with their new jewellery, new bling. But 64 wasn't in this group, so she's definitely in the paddock. Had a bit of a draft up. All these look fairly even. We've taken all the smaller and sort of rough looking calves. Not really rough, just there's a couple with like furry coats. And then these are booked in to go either Monday or Tuesday. We probably could keep them for another week or 2, but because Dad's going away tomorrow for a week and then I'm going away again on holiday for a week after that, it'd just be easy to send these off, and then there's less to deal with when it's just us on our own on the farm. 20's pretty good, so that'll be a good relief to get them gone. It would be really nice just to send the whole lot down there, but we're just saving a little bit of money by keeping a few of these at home. It's good to get that job ticked off. It's going to be even better when I put them on the truck. That'll pretty much wrap it up for this video, guys. I'm heading in for lunch, so hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, thumbs up, that'd be awesome. And apart from that, see you next time. The results of the milk that we sent last night's through, and you can see that it has dropped down to 107 again. So it peaked at 157, so there was definitely a cow in there with mastitis. We found that one, treated it, and it's gone down. Although it's still sitting a little bit high, although the cows are dropping a little bit like volume wise at the moment, so it will probably pick up a little bit, but still acceptable. Like I'm pretty happy if it sort of sits around 100.